Good afternoon. My name's Kris. I'm a success engineer with IP.com, and today I'm going to be going over how to use InnovationQ Plus in our new HD Analyze mode to perform technology landscapes. There are a few ways we can get started, such as using our just powered semantic search engine to search for concepts, ideas, or even find a peer group of an invention disclosure. However, I want to begin by using a document of interest to start a search. This will simulate using a recently published document from one's own company to get a sense for what the landscape looks like. I pre-selected a document dealing with autonomous vehicles that was published very recently to represent the cutting edge of current AV technology. So instead of searching using a general description within our search engine, I'll simply enter the document identifier to use the text from this document as my search input. This automatically pulls concepts from the text of the abstract, claims, and descriptions of this document to match to our database and form a peer group based on the semantic distance. Subsequently, the results list will be focused around documents and technologies that are highly relevant to the technology described in my chosen document. Now that we've initiated our search, my first task is to look into the top few results in my list by clicking on them in this results list. Within this document preview pane, our system has automatically highlighted the overlapping concepts between the document I searched with and the document in the results list. As I move through these top few results, if I notice a concept that I am interested in is missing, or if I'm seeing concepts and technologies that aren't relevant to what I'm looking for, I can manually bias the relevancy engine through what we call concept modifiers. Firstly, these can be done manually. For example, should I want to see more documents dealing with vehicles, I simply click Add More Like, type vehicles, and hit search. Doing this means that any document dealing with vehicles will receive a higher relevancy score than those that do not. You can also do this in the reverse with the Add Less Like modifier. Secondly, I can do this at a document level. Say I found a document that is very indicative of what I'm looking for, I can use this document menu and the more like this or less like this options to bias my engine in this way. You'll also notice an option to replace main concept, where I can instead use this document to begin an entirely new search. Following this, I can use various filters, deduplication settings, and relevance cutoffs to refine my search. A relevance cutoff can quickly eliminate low relevance documents by, in this case, selecting a 3-star cutoff. In doing this, any document having below a 3-star relevance will be automatically excluded from the results list. This is useful to quickly go from a very large result set to a much more focused list. Once I have my results set roughly where I want it to be, I'm going to switch to our new HD Analyze mode to start digging deeper. Once within HD Analyze mode, you can see we now have 7 modules to choose from, a segment showing how many documents are being included in these visualizations, and a segment for choosing and applying various highlights to our visuals. Regarding modules, I've chosen 4 for this use case. Firstly, our topic map. Previous users will recognize this as our semantic map, but with some added functionality. For new users, what this is a visual representation of the way your results are being sorted and grouped by the engine. Across this map are many keywords which are indicative of concepts. The larger each keyword is, the more often the corresponding concept is being used, and the closer keywords are together, the more often those concepts are being used together within documents. Regarding new functionality, we've now included a label density slider which changes how many keywords can be seen at once. By moving it to the left, we can reduce the complexity and only see the primary concepts within the map. By moving it to the right, we can see many more focused concepts to help us select more highly relevant data. Next, we have our categories module. This category module is based on an AI sorting algorithm in which a document can only be present in one category at a time based on its primary concepts, so there is no document overlap between categories. For larger categories, you can see that we include subcategories to help you quickly find more granular concepts. By clicking on the subcategory icon, you can expand that category to select a more refined technology to quickly reduce the scope of your search. This module is useful for quickly narrowing in on a certain technology space and highlighting them among other modules. Next, I have selected our names module and set it to ultimate parents. As I add highlights and focuses, you will see this module change to show me which companies are working in the forefront of different technology spaces by volume, relevance, and time. And lastly, I've chosen to include the results list module so that as I add highlights and focuses to my data set, I can specifically see which technologies jump to the top of the list. Also, as I hover over each one of these results, I can see their position highlighted in my topic map. I would like to get started with highlights. By clicking this highlight segment, currently set to default, we can see our options. First up is publication date. By adding this highlight, parts of each module receive a lighter color for documents published more recently. Immediately, I can see in the topic map that the area surrounding the charging station concept has lot more work done recently than concepts surrounding generators. And in my names module, I can also see that between Porsche and Honda, Porsche has had more recent filings based on the lighter color of their bar. Our next highlight option is relevance. In the same way publication date use color to show us the most recent documents, relevance uses a similar gradient to show us the documents most relevant to our search based on semantic distance. For instance, now in our categories module, you can see that documents dealing with concepts such as the engine have a lower average relevance than those dealing with voltage and circuit. I can also see that while Porsche had the most recent documents in our previous highlights, Toyota appears to have a larger set of more relevant documents to my search. Finally, we have our custom highlighting option. This is a great tool to use in conjunction with the categories module to add visual clarity to the dataset. So I'll go ahead and select a few concept categories by grabbing a color from up top and then clicking on the document number of each category. As I do this, you can see my other modules update to reflect the highlights I've just added. For example, in my names module, I can now see what ratio of each competitor's portfolio is dedicated to documents primarily dealing with the concept of voltage versus the concept of engines. And if I ever want to see additional data, I can expand any one of these modules to see the complete data set. All of the visuals in these modules are downloadable by clicking the PNG icon in the top right of any module, making it easy to quickly export any of these for the sake of presentation. As I alluded to before with our lasso tool in our topic map, a functionality within all of these modules are to add focuses, which instead of adding only visual clarity to the larger document set, limits the set down to only the documents within a selected parameter of a module. For instance, should I use the lasso tool to select a region of the topic map, you can see that all of my other modules automatically adjust to show only the documents in this space. The same can be done by interacting with our categories module or any other of the selected modules. Highlights can also be added on top of these focus document groups to further assist in the interpretation of this data. This has been a few of the methods in which InnovationQ Plus in our new HD Analyze mode can be used to quickly dissect large technology landscapes to get actionable information. I would like to point out our help bubble down at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Should you need any assistance while working through our system, you can find help either in our knowledge base or by contacting our support team here at IP.com.